The other thing I like to think about with life being so short, every now and then in life, you get to meet an incredible individual. And it doesn't happen too often. And when it does happen, you really got to pay attention to it and you really got to appreciate it. And so you guys are about to meet an incredible individual. I'm going to introduce you here in a second. Dr. Tony Hampton dedicated his life to healing people. This man is a life changer. So if you guys could, along with me, please welcome Dr. Tony Hampton. YouTube videos, and he said, I need help. I'm not going to be in this world much longer if I don't do something. And he just hit month 7.
And that was just over 4 years ago. I haven't, the only fresh air that I've had is opening the window and looking out the window. In 4 years, I just can't, it feels like 40 years, to be honest. So sorry. It's just been a long time. And the thought of being able to go outside again is, when you're a prisoner for so long.
What I want to tell you, my friend, is I will help you. I promise you, it will all come into place.
Hello?
Hi, is this Bill? There's going to be some challenges. Just the one thing I would encourage you to really think about is that day you open the door and walk out, because that's just such a powerful thing.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Come on, Bill. Bill, you can do this. Do it, Bill. Do it. You got this. 3 weeks ago, I didn't know this man, Bill, from Alaska. Let's just go. Let's just go. The car's still beeping. I don't know why. You nervous?
I'm nervous, scary. Oh,
I got a hug.
It's just so emotional, and I don't even know what to say. I just hope that Bill, I just can't wait for Bill to get better.
Just 3 months ago, I weighed 700 pounds. 700. I had given up hope. I had an entire array of serious health problems, very serious heart condition, suffering from just black hole depression. I had given up. In just 90 days, I've lost about 100 pounds. And I feel better than I have in a long, long time. Back on day 215. I've documented my entire 6.5 month journey. What this diet has done for me in my life literally saved my life. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it didn't stay. Did you guys see what that was? Oh my goodness. Did that say 467? Oh my God. If that said 467, I'm going to be beyond elated.
He was like, what is my purpose if I'm stuck here in this house doing nothing for so many years? He went from feeling like he has no purpose to now having the ultimate purpose, as you can see by the reaction when I said, you guys know Bill not, everyone started clapping. He's got more fans than anybody. He's inspiring so many people. People, they comment on my channel all the time. If Bill at 700 pounds can change his life forever, stuck in his house in Alaska, limited income, anybody can do it. All right, Dr. Hampton, you ready to do this?
Let's do it, man.
Is this the weirdest thing you've ever done with a small audience behind you here?
I can't tell you anything other than this. That's weird, so we'll go with it.
All right. Hello and welcome everyone to the world famous Montello Theater. Thousands of stories were told in this building before a single movie ever played, and today we're telling the story of healing humanity, the power of a proper human diet. The proper human diet has changed my life forever. It's also changed the lives of many individuals here in the audience, and I believe a proper human diet can help heal humanity, and that's why we're doing the documentary, Healing Humanity. So, one of the things I want to say real quick before we introduce Dr. Hampton officially is, if you guys could just do something with me real quick, if you could just close your eyes for a second and then open them back up. I like to do that and think about how short life is. God willing, if we make it, we're going to close our eyes, open them back up, and you're going to be an old person at the end of your life, and hopefully you're going to be happy with your life. I wasn't happy with my life before finding the proper human diet. And it's changed my life forever. And that was one of my reasons and one of my whys. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. But life is so short, and I didn't want to live my life anymore in a brain fog, with fatigue, with aches and pains and ailments and issues, and so many things. I was just living in a blur. And eating a proper human diet has changed that for me forever. The other thing I like to think about with life being so short, every now and then in life, you get to meet an incredible individual. And it doesn't happen too often. And when it does happen, you really got to pay attention to it, and you really got to appreciate it. And so you guys are about to meet an incredible individual I'm going to introduce to you here in a second. Dr. Tony Hampton dedicated his life to healing people. This man is a life changer. So if you guys could, along with me, please welcome Dr. Tony Hampton.
That is an incredible introduction. That's an incredible audience. Yeah, I have been focused on nutrition probably for about, I would even argue, 20 years as a doctor. I started as a plant-based doctor, trying to find the best way to help my kids heal. So I went down the plant-based approach, which was better than the standard American diet. But later I realized that my stomach was still irritable. My wife's blood sugar, she has type 1 diabetes, was still out of control with a plant-based diet. I later discovered, thankfully, that low carb was a better approach for her, for myself, and my kids. After getting the benefits of low carb, I then found that I needed to tighten that up and go keto. And we did keto for a while. And I decided, through the influence of others, like Dr. Kim Berry and others, I realized that I should try this carnivore thing. And when I did the carnivore diet, that's when things got magical for me. That's when my symptoms completely disappeared. And what really was amazing is not just the benefits we have as a family, my wife as a person with type 1 diabetes has. We found that my patients started to heal. We found that the patients started getting off of insulin for the first time. And by giving them hope, they can then have the kind of life they've always imagined. So now I'm a healer as opposed to a drug dealer. And I'm so happy to be a healer, which is what God intended.
That's a great transition, Dr. Hampton. Look at this man, these beautiful pictures. Shout out Adam Carnivore today. This was when we filmed Dr. Hampton for the documentary. And I have a little clip. I don't know if you've seen this. You're going to see it now, Dr. Hampton. This is just a little short clip. We're trying to hold everything over for the documentary. We've done a lot of YouTube videos together, but this next clip of Dr. Hampton gives me goosebumps. So I wanted to share this with you.
When I think about what gets me really excited, for the first 15 years of my career, I took 1 or 2 people off of medicines. Since then, and when I started to move towards encouraging patients to reduce carbs, I now do that every week. In fact, a week before we recorded this video, I took 7 people off medicines in 1 week. Some of those patients never thought they'd ever get off medicines. One of them got off of insulin, and they simply did it by making dietary changes. Some did it with keto, some did it with carnivore, but I've now transitioned from a disease manager to a disease healer. I've transitioned from a drug dealer to a healer. And I can't believe it's happened. And it really just took taking the time to learn a different path. When I recognized that what I was doing wasn't healing people, I am so thankful that I realized that I need to do something different. A little research later, I found low carb, keto, and carnivore, and I've been off to the races since. So I just hope that more people learn this, whether it's a patient or a clinician, so that more people can heal.
Woo! The world needs more doctors like Dr. Tony Hampton, for sure. IBS, my stomach was always gurgling and bubbling and hurting me. I had gout and inflammation. I had gout so bad in my foot, I was going around on a mobility scooter. 18 months, they wanted to do surgery and cut my toe. And I had inflammation in my back and elbows. I was always in aches and pains and issues. I was diagnosed with skin cancer. I had my appendix burst. I lost my gallbladder. 5 years ago, I had a mini stroke in our house. And I had a bunch of tests after that, and it turns out I have congestive heart failure. So I had all of these issues, but aside from all of those, the worst one for me, I always show people this. Dr. Hampton's getting people off their meds. I really appreciate that greatly because these were all of my medications for so long, and as of right now, I'm on 0 medications.
Yeah, buddy!
Star Wars came out. If you were watching the news then, you'd see lines of people outside of Star Wars in the late 70s or whatever. You'd see 1 or 2 overweight individuals. Now it's 7 out of 10. But everyone's just like, that's just the way it is. That's just normal. I like to simplify things. It's not just about eating meat or eliminating things. What I think is happening is humanity has gone so far away from what is natural, mainly in the foods we're eating. And if you charted it on a graph, the further and further we're getting away from natural, as humanity, we're getting sicker and sicker. Diseases, cancer, obesity, type 2 diabetes. It's mainly the foods we're eating, but we're also not getting sunlight. We're staring at our screens all day. We're under fluorescent lights. We're not getting fresh air. We're not getting exercise. Dr. Hampton, aren't you bored just eating animal products?
Not at all. We consider carnivore the perfect elimination diet. And what I found is that beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, which is what that BBBE stands for, is a great elimination diet. So if I'm focused on eating maybe pork belly and fatty cuts of lamb, fatty fish, maybe even ribeye or bison, these are very nutrient-dense foods that will literally give you all the nutrients you need because, again, we're eating the essential protein and essential fat. When you eat this way, again, you're giving your body the essential fats, the essential protein, and you're not going to be hungry. So at the end of the day, when you do this, you essentially eliminate the toxins. And what are those toxins? Because we use that term loosely, right? We eliminate the anti-nutrients and things like lectins. You may have heard the term lectin before. And lectins, when you consume them and they come from plants, things like gluten, it wreaks havoc on your gut. And before I went and got my master's in nutrition, I didn't even know what a leaky gut was. Now I know that because of things like lectins in my food, I can have inflammation in my gut. I can increase my risk for autoimmune diseases in my gut. So I stay away from the wheats and the rye and the barleys and the lentils and all of these plant matter that actually can harm me when I was told my entire life that they were good for me. And then I think about things like oxalates, which are in plants, and they can disrupt my ability to absorb the calcium and the magnesium that I need from my body. You certainly need magnesium when you're on a low carb keto or carnivore diet. And those things come from those grains that they insist that you must eat. And because I'm carnivore, I also stay away from seed oil. So one of the benefits of BBBE is that I'm not doing seed oils. I'm not doing that fiber. And I'm eating nutrient-dense food that will give my body what it needs. And what I like the most about this dietary pattern, Carrie, is that it is so simple. I don't have to think. I mean, the time we spent trying to figure out when I was plant-based how to create a meal that was palatable, it was a lot of work, required a lot of energy and resource, and it required a lot of time. Me and my air fryer spend very little time together because it's really quick. I put my ribeye in there. I flip it halfway through. If you want a life where you're not hungry, you want the food to be easy to digest, doesn't cause symptoms, and is easy to prepare, this is a no-brainer. And again, so we don't get bored because I have more time to do fun stuff. Now we're going to have more time to do the things that we want to do. And I'm not spending all that time in the kitchen trying to create some fancy plant-based meal that really is not serving me.
It's something switches, it seems like, when you go to a proper human diet where food is no longer entertainment. It's not there for amusement. You're eating for sustenance and then you're done and you're on with your life. It's kind of a big thing. I didn't really think about going into it. That's kind of a life changer. The other question I get from people from time to time, I couldn't live like that. Life is too short. I just think your life is probably too short because you're eating like that.
Right.
If the only entertainment you're getting in life is your food, then you're probably doing something wrong. So if you saw a deer in the wild and the deer's belly was hanging down and rubbing on the ground and its fur was missing and had big bags under its eyes and it was just hobbling along and it was arthritic, you'd be like, oh my goodness, that poor deer, what's wrong with it? It's sick. But if you go to the grocery store or you go across the street to Quick Trip over here, most of humanity you see is like that right now. And it's just been normalized. And if we fed the deer the food that humans are eating, the ice cream and the Doritos and all this unnatural stuff, the deer would get sick and look like the humans. So. Speaking of affirmations, I am thankful, grateful, and blessed for Dr. Tony Hampton. Real quick, Dr. Hampton, we have a lot of history here at the theater. It goes back to 1859. I just thought this was a cool little piece of history. In 1911, a year before the Titanic sunk, we had a traveling doctor come into the theater, and there were lines out the door because we didn't have a doctor here. So you're kind of making history more than one ways today. You're the next doctor here at Montello Theater. So why don't we give it up for Dr. Hampton?
There's a familiar face. Good to see you, my friend. But yeah, thank you, Carrie, and for everybody who joined us today. I really appreciate you taking time to do this. This has been a gift. I was really looking forward to this. And this is what we'll have to do to grow this community, guys. Whether we're in a theater, at some mall, or wherever, at a hotel, or just virtually, let's continue to support all of those out there who are doing this great work. It is going to change lives. I've been at many conferences, meeting people for the first time, and some have tears in their eyes because they've heard a video or a message that helped them heal. So let's keep doing this amazing work and sharing this gift of healing. Carrie, I got your back, and everybody there. I'm going to be here to support this community until my last breath. So thanks, guys, for the opportunity.
Everyone waved, everyone's still watching us. 310 people watching us on the stream. Say ribeye. Ribeye. Tomahawk. Tomahawk. Finger. Dr. Finger. Beep.
Awesome. We have an animal that just got processed. I was hoping it was going to make it back by today, but it won't be here until next Saturday. So, we have some eggs available, but until they're sold out, the way it looks. And chicken, we're a little limited on as well. But we just started our first batch of chicken, so anybody that wants to pre-order will gladly take pre-orders on anything.
Cool.
So
He put a clip of you on the big screen at the movie theater today.
Yeah, you're world famous now.
You're getting famous.
You already were on YouTube, but
yeah, I know. Half my farmer friends think I'm famous.
Piece from where it was smoked.
Oh man, yeah, that tastes
So it's
amazing.
like
Oh, water system. And then we have an e-blade.
The bomb.
And we got that TV stuff to this is what we just
I want to get one. Wait, stay.